We hang one banner only, and that's NBA titles.
The Lakers are the world champions. The Lakers have won it again.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Rings and Things. And today we are going to talk about Luka Doncic. He had a full-on transformation from his physical shape, his cardio, his diet, and he put in all this work in the offseason, and he just got done carrying Slovenia through the quarterfinals in the FIBA EuroBasket tournament. So let's break it down how Luka Doncic actually looked with this new and improved body, right? Let's really dissect the film and look at how he performed offensively and defensively, and just take some notes on what looks different with Luka Doncic, right? Because when Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers and he was coming back from injury, he did not look 100%, but he was still able to perform game in and game out. But how did he look throughout this EuroBasket tournament? How did he carry this team that didn't have a lot of talent when you look at the other rosters in this tournament? If you look at Germany, if you look at Serbia, if you look at these other teams, how did Luka Doncic do on the offensive end and defensive end? Before we dive into the film, let's quickly summarize and recap how Luka Doncic performed from a statistical standpoint. In 33 minutes, Luka Doncic averaged 34.7 points, which was the highest of all players participating in the tournament. He averaged 8.6 rebounds per game, 7.1 assists per game, and a staggering 2.7 steals per game. So already you can tell by the activity and his statistics that you can start to see a narrative being shaped on how he performed in the EuroBasket tournament. Luka Doncic also got to the free throw line 9 times per game, and he hit an improved 88% from the charity stripe, which is also a good trend to see from Luka Doncic. And I'm ready to make a bold take. After watching Luka Doncic perform the way he performed and carry Slovenia and really look a different version of himself in terms of his quickness and being able to grab a rebound and really attack the basket and get to whatever spots he needs to get to, and to be able to carry that offensive production through all 4 quarters, I'm ready to say it, guys. I'm ready to say Luka Doncic is the best player in the world. All right, let's dive into the film. Here was certain with Luka Doncic during this tournament is his three-point shooting. He used a lot of jab step threes, as you see here. In addition to that, I also want to mention that FIBA rules are a little bit different, where the three-point line is a bit shorter in comparison to the NBA, but also the spacing is a little different, right? Defenses are allowed to pack the paint. There is no 3-second violation in FIBA basketball. So you need to keep that in mind when you see these highlights. So Luka really used the three-point line as a weapon, and he hits his favorite go-to move, which is that step-back three. Look at that footwork, just that nice and smooth release there. One thing that jumps to me on the screen when watching Luka Doncic play, especially in this tournament, is how quick he was getting into his shots and being able to just release. His release was super quick too. Once he got into his shot, once he got into his positioning, he was just ready, locked and loaded, and boom, he's flipping that up and hits it. Here we are. Luka Doncic is probing, dribbling. Again, he has a mismatch for him where he's able to attack bigs. In the tournament, you see him attacking smaller defenders. You see him attacking larger defenders. It didn't matter what defense was being thrown at him, whether it was a switching scheme, you see here from France, whether it was a trapping him and blitzing him. You'll see that in the film when we talk about his passing and his ability there. It didn't matter. he was able to do whatever he wanted. You see here just the touch and the deep range that he's able to show here is incredible. And this was obviously one of the top premier teams that he's going up against in France, and he just hits that over the top of Bilal Koulibaly, who's an excellent defender, and all he can do is just smile and kind of laugh there. Here we have a screen, and Luka again just probing, knifing the defense. The defender gets the hand on a ball here, but it doesn't matter. He just picks the ball up and creates another shot on the opposite wing. And this is what is incredible with Luka, right? There is no shot that he can't make. There's no amount of discomfort you can put him in, or whatever defender's out there, he's able to get to the spot. Again, this is a theme that I saw with Luka Doncic, and it's just getting the ball in the wing, hitting a jab step, and boom, just getting into that release. And again, it just looks so effortless when he throws and shoots this three-point shot here. He gets the guy he wants. He does a little probe dribble and just takes that back in and shoots it. The coach is upset here. And he has a small defender on him, and all his shots, they're all just cash. And you see the fan there. Here we go. Luka again. This is going to be another jab step three, and boom, he just hits it. Just so much confidence, so much comfort. And that's the one thing I love about Luka, right? And he may be, introverted outside of the court, but when he's playing basketball and the passion that he has for basketball, he's out there, he's a killer. Another area that I wanted to focus on in terms of the film breakdown is him getting to the basket and him getting and ones. Again, him bringing the ball up the court, really being able to be aggressive and look for contact, and then taking the shot here. He gets some contact and just flips it up, and just, again, shows the significance in his touch and his release. Again, we have Luka here as a screener. He gets the ball at the top. Again, he's sizing up the defender. The small defender here, he just bully balls his way to the basket. And again, this may look like, this is just a super easy shot for him. This is all day for him. He can get this whenever he wants. You're gonna have to, you will have to send a double at him if he gets to that point. Again, he's the screener here, and gets nice positioning here, gets a rebound, and again, is aggressive, cleans up the glass, and finishes it for Slovenia here in an and one. Once again here, look at that passion and scream from Luka. We see a little bit of off-ball movement from Luka here. Gets a screen, gets a small defender on him, and just takes him to the paint, bully ball style. Look at this. This guy has no chance, and he just flips it, and there's no rim protection or anything. He doesn't have to shoot it over the top. Here we have Luka. He gets a switch he wants. He's going to send this guy dancing. A little head fake, pump fake there, and there you go. Another and one for Slovenia. And this was a game where Luka went on an individual run. There was a point where Luka had more points than the whole team for Italy in this matchup. This was a big one for Slovenia and Luka. And Luka takes so much pride in playing for Slovenia and representing the country. And you see it on play in and play out. Another factor, another part of his game that, is important to see is his driving. It was good to see his speed, his agility to get to the basket. Here, he just takes one screen, takes a few dribbles, and he's right at the rim. And he's hitting this over an NBA level defender in Franz Wagner. Again, he splits the double team, and this was another thing that was, unique that I saw and noticed is he was able to get off a bunch of acrobat finishes at the rim. And that was also good to see. I didn't see a lot of that during his tenure at the Lakers. And obviously, it was a short stint, and he was kind of getting over it. And he, released an article with Wall Street Journal today. There was an article that he released today and talked about how, much of a shock there was. Again, you see here his touch when it comes to, floaters and runners. This was something that I felt, and this could just be in more of an eye test thing, that Luka didn't have a little bit of this completely sharpened when he was playing for the Lakers. And I feel a lot of that is attributed to his injury coming back from that calf strain. And again, look at him probing here on a small defender and just that touch. And it's just money anytime he's around the basket, and it's just floating it, and there's no defense. It's his eyes, and he's at the rim, and it's just an easy basket. This is basically a layup to him every time. Again, he gets this tough finish on Denny Advia, another NBA two-way wing player, and finishes it and is clamoring for an and one here. Let's talk about his passing quickly. Defenses, obviously, trying to contain Luka, started to opt to kind of trap him, and you see all the attention and eyes on Luka here, where he finds his teammate for an incredible pass from basically the half-court line, and this is kind of an alley-oop pass right here. And look at this. He throws it only where his teammate can catch it, and he finishes it. Another one here, and look, they blitz him here, and it doesn't matter. He pinpoints this pass. It's a bullet pass, and he finds his teammate right where only he can catch it, and a defender can't even get it, and his teammate does the rest. He finishes it and gets an easy basket. And this is what sets Luka apart from his contemporaries, right? Not only is he averaging and scoring around 35 points per game here, but it's his passing, right? So he's able to take advantage of defenses from the start of a game all the way through the end. And this is something as a defense you need to account for. Here we are again, Luka with this pass in the corner for a wide open three. His teammate hits it. Look how aggressive he is here after a loose ball and hits his teammate again for an alley-oop. This is something that I'm excited to see. I really want him to see. I see this aggression, and if Ayton's rim running, if LeBron is running, if you have all these guys, athletes in transition, Luka's going to find you, and it's going to create a ton of easy baskets, and something that was missing from the Lakers last season. Again, look at this shovel bowling type pass. He finds his teammate for a nice three. Here we are again, Luka. And this bounce pass was just so pretty. Look at that. There's so much traffic and congestion there. It doesn't even matter. He just finds his teammate right where he can catch it and finish it. And let's talk about his defense, right? That was a huge topic during the Western Conference Finals. He was a liability out there, right? You see him stonewall his defender here and get a block here. And unfortunately, his teammates aren't able to get the rebound here, but like this is really good to see. And again, a lot of times, here he does what he needs to do, positioning himself right in front of his opponent and causing a turnover. You see him here, his eyes are up, he's active. He gets another block here and forces the ball out of bounds against his teammate, against the opponent. You see another replay of that, and this is the type of defense that we, as Laker fans, should expect and should be excited for, right? He's gonna be thrown into this, team defender, weak side helper type situation, and if we see this activity, that's just icing on the cake, right? Because we're going to see the offensive production, right? If we get the defense added, it's only a bonus. And let's talk about the opportunities where he does create turnovers on the defensive end and turns it into offense, right? So you see Luka here, again, just jumping the passing lane. And this kind of goes back to, this improved physique, shedding some of that weight and really focused on his agility and being able to just jump these passing lanes. This is huge, right? Like if we can bank on a few plays per game on this is going to be a turnaround for the Lakers and for Luka, which I have been saying that this is going to be an MVP type season for him. Again, he gets a defensive rebound, and look at this hit-ahead pass. Absolutely incredible. Only a place where his teammate can catch it and hits it in stride. He's, jump passing and everything. And this is against Germany too. Germany is obviously the team that won the whole tournament. And again, Luka is in the right place at the right time. And this is where it's helpful, right? Like, he has clearly IQ of the game. He knows where to be, and he's an excellent passer. So if he adds and infuses some of that on the defensive end, and he has the energy to do it, these are the types of plays that we're going to see. And this is incredible. Look, he brings it up and just takes this step back three. Gets a rebound here. His eyes are up. He's running. He's sprinting, and he embraces the contact, and he just hits that floater runner type shot. And it is just so confident and makes it look so easy. And folks, like, he's running full speed, takes the contact, and he's drifting to the left, the opposite side. And again, you see another turnover that he's forced, and makes this simple read, simple pass, which resulted in an easy basket for his teammate. All in all, I'm so excited for Luka Doncic, and as a Lakers fan, to see how he's going to perform with the full offseason, a full training camp, with the new and improved roster too, with DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, and Adu Thero, who's going to be an athlete. And if he's right, he's going to be also another player. Potentially, he can make the rotation and be able to be that wing/athlete that Luka will be able to spoon feed baskets. I see a very, very tough team ahead of us. It all comes down to how Luka leads from the front. LeBron, Austin Reeves, I'm sure, is going to be excited to have his comeback in terms of his, the narrative that was drawn from the Minnesota Timberwolves series. How does JJ Redick and the coaching staff get, all these players performing in unison? And I think it all starts with habits, and it all starts with how the training camp battles are going to shake out. And I think that is going to be incredibly important. I think players and teammates are going to be pushing and jockeying each other to get the best out of each other and to get the best version of this team, right? Marcus Smart is going to be that dog, on the court, off the court, and that is going to exude in all of the players on this team. In addition to that, Luka has this extra motivation coming into next season. So does LeBron, as always, right? Everyone is saying that this is the year he's going to drop off, but it didn't look like it. He finished 6th in the MVP votes last season, right? He also made All-NBA. So these are the types of narratives, and these are the types of storylines that, as Lakers fans, we're going to be watching really closely. But the conclusion here is Luka Doncic looks incredible. There was an impact from the defensive end. There was an impact that you could easily see from the offensive end. He's always going to be able to get his production on the offensive end. But what was very jarring to see is his quickness, his agility, and how quick he was able to get whatever shot he wanted, and how quick he was in his release. And if we get that version of Luka during this regular season in a deep and super competitive West, I think we are in for a very, very fun and eventful season, to say the least. So I say all of this to say that Luka, he looked incredible. He did a massive carry job for Slovenia, and they came this close in defeating Germany. And if they did, they were going to win that tournament. Like, Luka was going to come for that tournament and that victory, because they were the only team that Germany did not defeat in double figures. That's how close Slovenia and Germany's matchup came down to. And honestly, it just came down to, Slovenia not being able to convert enough shots in closing time. And if you look at the talent and the players on both rosters, it makes sense. Like, Germany was the bigger, longer, more athletic team, and Slovenia, as incredible as the role players and everyone else played alongside Luka, there's always a ceiling with that. And maybe if they play it again, maybe, they have a better shot, better chance. But there was a clear cap and ceiling with this Slovenia team. And with all that said, hopefully this was a different type of video I wanted to do. I wanted to do more of a live breakdown while there's highlights being played of Luka Doncic play during FIBA EuroBasket tournament. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And hopefully you give this video a like. Give me any feedback in the comments below. And make sure you follow Rings and Things, where banners aren't optional. They are tradition. Take care, everyone. Peace.